Fuck you mean? The Kings ain't going nowhere. It's real. The Kings are real. Turn the fucking Jets on! Turn the fucking Jets on! Ah!
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the thing. So do it for Deuce and Mo.
We
Deuce
are
and Mo.
live!
Do it for Deuce and more.
Oh,
When it comes to the
tonight
Kings,
feels
it's
a
my
little
favorite
different.
show.
Tonight feels a little emotional as the Kings have done something they have not done since 05-06, baby. A winning season. How are we doing, Night Chad? Woo! Oh!
Hi.
I'm rooting for
I
you.
not see this every time. Let's go, gang.
Are you kidding me? Think about the journey we've been on together. It's been ugly at times. 16 years of torture, and here we are in Sacramento. Sole possession of the number 2 seed Morgan Reagan. 42 wins. Is this real life? The most road wins since 04-05? Dude, I feel like the last few games we've had here, the 40 wins, 41, now 42, has been a celebration. It is. Like, soak this shit up.
Dude.
Oh.
No, that's where I'm at. I think I'm almost speechless, one. But, yeah, it doesn't feel real. Like, even... It's so funny what type of fandom comes over me, and it all comes back to me like back in the day when I was a freaking kid and I would put a shoe on top of the TV, my Chris Webber Dada on top of the TV. Like if the team was doing well, and it's like, oh, it's because the shoe. Like I wouldn't even text you things because I was feeling a certain way. And I was like, no. If I put it on there, then it's like, I'm going to jinx something. And just feeling that type of fear, like that fandom fear, it's wonderful. It's awful, but it's wonderful. I've missed it so much. So much.
I'm just so happy, obviously, for us, because we get to talk about this all the time. But like all the people that hang out with us, like in the chat, I'm reading this. Someone just said, 42 and 27. Yeah, Insane Cookies. 42 and 27 feels fake. Like, what the F?
Right.
And many people are demanding you do Shut Up and Light the Beam. I don't know that we could do that every night. I mean, I don't know if that could turn into a tradition or anything.
No. It's, you know what? That was so fun. But by the way, thank you everyone for the support. Like, holy shit. We had so many different people reach out. I'm sure we'll talk about it on the pod.
Yeah, you want to do behind the music on this? We were just talking about ideas and stuff. And I'm like, Morgan, I got an idea. I said, shut up and light the beam, you know?
And I just looked at him and I go,
I love that song. I want to sing it.
I said, please let me sing it. It makes me so
and
happy.
I said, well, Morgan, we have some other people we're looking into at the moment.
Oh, my God.
Let me get back to you. She was the
I
cheapest.
won. I was free.
I reached out to some mega stars. I had to settle on Morgan, but I thought she killed it. And we're so happy to work out the way it did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of the critics, talk about the cringe factor, and that's okay. Some notes were missed, something I'll definitely work on in this this summer. So, I just want to be at that level of like, if you saw me at a karaoke bar, you'd be like, oh, she's good. So like, I'll get there. I'll hit that stuff after the summer.
So this week has been...
Yeah, what's the word?
So fun in so many ways, but like just from a professional, there's been a lot going on with us, and so this morning I didn't even see this, and we got so much reaction, which is cool. But like when you start seeing like some mainstream people, check this out. I know Kings fans don't love this guy.
Down.
I'm a big JJ Redick fan. JJ Redick this morning retweets Shut Up and Light the Beam and said, need this on a Spotify playlist.
I just wish my vocals were more crisp if I knew JJ Redick was going to retweet this.
He did retweet at 4:23 this morning. I didn't see it until right before the Kings game.
I know. No, that was
dude, that was badass.
You know what I love? And Kings fans, get over it. Get over it, right?
You apologize, man.
No. And either way though, like, get over it. But something I really do respect and appreciate about JJ Redick is that he doesn't take himself too seriously. Like, he will create and be fun and be funny, but like can also have this serious side to break things down, be very wrong about things, just like anyone else in this business has been, but holds himself accountable too. But I just appreciate someone that can do all that work and, hey, sees the work we're doing, huh?
What can I say, man? What can I say?
Okay, now.
Dude, 42 wins. Oh, clinched the winning season. And by the way, Jason Ross, I'm not good with this magic number stuff. Jason Ross told me tonight the magic number's down to 6.
Yep. I heard it on the broadcast. Yeah.
6 more wins. 6 more Kings wins.
6.
And that number can go down with the other teams behind them losing. 6 more wins, they clinch a top 6 spot.
And it did go down because it was at 9 the other day.
Yeah.
So
with all these
6.
other teams losing. Is this real life?
No, you got like.
Are you real?
What? Okay.
I couldn't tell if it was real. No, I didn't. I felt like I was in a simulation. I thought I was in a simulation for a second. I had to make sure I felt.
Let me make sure.
No.
Let me make
See,
sure.
I did a nice little.
No, you did. You raked my face with your hand.
I raked it as if I was Trey Lyles.
No, that was like a Harrison Barnes on DeMar DeRozan. Oh
man.
Oh, my face. Yeah, it doesn't feel real, and that's why I think you should just appreciate. Oh, I was dying laughing because Kyle Draper, who I want to have on the show next week when they take on the Celtics.
Okay.
He was saying like toward the end of the show, he was saying something like I know this is great and everything, but like, I mean, if you make it into the postseason, don't you have to take care of business? On thing is Kyle,
Yeah.
stop it.
We'll get there when we get there.
He admitted
man.
he was being greedy. I
We'll
thought it was
get
funny.
there, and I definitely want to get greedy, but like, the West is tough.
It's a tough place to be.
The Kings are tough too, man. The Kings are tough. How are we doing in the chat? Let's do a little roll call before we get started. A couple of things you guys can do right away to help us before we get the podcast started. Tonight, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button. It just helps the channel grow. The growth over the last week has been insane. We're inching closer to 11,000 subs.
Yeah.
We're like 380 away from 11,000 subs. So let's get there. Hit the sub so people know we're doing Kings content, yes, but NBA content too.
And we have even more news to confirm with everyone.
Are we breaking that today?
Break it.
And then on the podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. We got to start pushing it out. Break it.
Hold on 1 second. I got to ask more.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. We do have an update at this hour. We can confirm. April 14th, the night before the NBA playoff starts, Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan will be holding a live event downtown Sacramento, just blocks away from Golden One Center. We'll be having a live event April 14th, 7 p.m. at Solomon's in the Russ Room, named after the icon Russ Solomon, who founded Tower Records in Sacramento. First ever time they've done a podcast there. We are going to be the first. How many tickets will we be able to sell? What's the cap?
The cap, I believe, is going to be 150.
150 is going to be the cap on this. We'll be dropping that next week. Tickets will be on sale next week. And you're going, all right, Deuce, but how much is it going to cost you? $10. $10 flat. There's no fees. We made sure we're absorbing the fees. This is not like a money-making venture for us.
Even with that, we will still end up paying out money, which is totally
It's totally fine.
We
This is not for us to make money. We want to do a live event. Literally, if we sold out, it would cover the cost of the venue almost.
Not after everything else we have to do. So
Okay.
that's okay.
It doesn't matter. It's not about
Who
that.
cares?
My whole point is I always feel weird asking people for money. $10
always
live event, us in person, special guests along the way, in an absolute party downtown Sacramento at Solomon's upstairs in the Russ Room where they have concerts and musicians all the time, events. We're doing the first podcast there live. Will there be alcohol sold? Great question. The answer is yes. Will there be some small bites for sale at Solomon's? Yes. Yes, all of that. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We will make sure to let you guys know all the details next week. We'll make sure it's not going to be like a secret. We'll let you guys know in advance when the tickets go on sale. Here's the link, all that stuff.
We put the deposit down this morning, and we are ready to roll.
I'm nervous. On the surface, I look calm and ready to drop bombs.
Why would you be nervous?
You know, just first.
And then when the light goes on or the mic, you get the mic and you're good to go. Okay. Whatever the hell your line is.
We sold 12 tickets. It'd be fun with those 12 people, though. I'll tell you this, Morgan. Those 12 people will have the time of their lives.
We didn't give a shit when we first started the podcast and 3 people were watching live.
I'm just saying that.
My point is
are you listening to me?
Yes.
I agree.
But that doesn't make me nervous.
You know.
No.
Okay.
No, that makes me excited. Like, no matter what happens, I'm excited.
VIP section for 100. This is not like a huge venue, obviously. So there's not going to be like a meet and greet. I mean, we could just like,
You'll
we
be
can.
seeing us right then and
There's
there.
not going to be a special meet and greet. There's going to be a meet and greet like, yeah, what's up, dude? We'll say hi to you like after the show, but we'll hang out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
So-
we're kicking it, people.
Appreciate you guys so much for being here. So all that, let's get it started.
Give me a hell yeah.
Let's talk hoops.
Deuce and Mo coming down in 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast. Should we just call this podcast, Is This Real Life?
Yes.
The Kings have done something they have not done since the 2005-06 season. They, tonight, have clinched a winning season. They get their 42nd win. They clinched the most road wins in the season since the 04-05 season. And now the magic number to make the NBA playoffs in the top 6 is down to 6. The Kings go on the road in the second night of a back-to-back, and think about what they had to deal with. They get in their rooms last night like 4 a.m. Who knows when they actually fell asleep, but they were awake tonight. The offense got off to a slow start, not knocking down shots like usual, but Sabonis said, get on my back. 20-20 game for Sabonis, and the Kings go on the road and beat the Nets tonight 101-96. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How are you doing, Mo?
Oh, you guys, I think we're all feeling the same. Like, what? Wait, what? Is this real life? I think that's the best way to identify a lot of our feelings. For anyone that was like, I knew this was going to happen. Well, congratulations. You are a goddamn genius, genie, fortune teller. I don't even know. But this is just amazing what the Kings have been able to accomplish at such a high level. And it's not a fluke.
It's not a fluke at all. This team has sole possession of the number 2 seed in the NBA's Western Conference. And out of the All-Star break, Morgan, they are 10-2.
Oh, my God.
There's a lot to go over with this win. Not
Yeah.
only the actual game, but the significance of what tonight means. We'll get into all of that tonight here on Night Chat.
Excited.
Morgan, tonight was an ugly, ugly start. I thought it was ironic. KD's keys to the game were like, hey, limit the 3-pointers. And then all of a sudden, the Nets come out and hit like their first 5 3 balls. And you're like, is it going to be this type of night? The Kings offense really struggled tonight.
Yeah, it did.
And I said this yesterday when they won kind of ugly on the De'Aaron Fox game winner. Just find a way to win. I like the fact that the Kings didn't have to score 145 points to win a game. Tonight, the offense wasn't the same. Right? They barely got to 100 points tonight, but they grinded it out, and they found a way to get it done. There was a lot of good things. Sabonis played like a beast. I thought they did some nice things defensively. They were engaged too. Good. You got the win. You win ugly.
One of the best things that they did in that first half, especially when shots were not falling, they started getting to the paint and getting to the free throw line. And it was the only way that they were going to create something. And what I loved is, yes, that is what you're supposed to do as a basketball team when your shots aren't falling. Think about all those other games when there's so much packed in the middle and so your shots aren't falling, but you don't have much of a choice on the inside. I know Nick Claxton was in there. I don't know what he finished with. Blocks. Sorry, I should have that right in front of my face. He had 2 blocks,
That's cute.
which is a little under his average. You know, he's like a little over that on his average per game. So, and Domas Sabonis had more, but we'll talk about him soon. But you look at the Kings offense and being able to attack that and then getting to the free throw line. They finished at the free throw line, 32 attempts, 24 for 32. And of course you want them to make more of those as well. But still, I like that they were generating an offense when their shots weren't falling.
Yeah, it's not
points.
often when you shoot 39% on the road.
Yeah.
And you win a game. And oh, by the way, your starting shooting guard, who's been really red hot lately, Kevin Huerter, plays 6 minutes. He left the game on that awkward land. Initially, it was reported as maybe a knee thing. Woj found out that it's actually a hamstring strain. Sean Cunningham from Fox 40 followed up on that, saying it's a mild hamstring strain, according to his sources. Obviously not ideal at all.
No.
But Sean's reporting was that there was optimism surrounding that it wasn't as bad as they thought it was initially.
Love that. And I mean, of course, you want to hear that. Getting an MRI tomorrow, right? I think that was the rest of Woj's report. So, yeah, hoping Kevin Huerter can figure it out because, you know, we've seen him have some games where he's not producing as much offense, but then other games where he's on fire and he's figuring it out. As the Kings keep getting closer and closer to this postseason, they need him. They need everyone as healthy as they can be. And very surprising, too, because this team has just been so healthy. Like, you have not seen that happen, knock on wood. You've not seen that happen much throughout this season where a guy's going out in the beginning of the game, he's not going to return. So hopefully Kevin Huerter can just, you know, rest up the rest of this road trip and then return when they get back home.
Yeah, he did not score. He was 0 for 4 in his 6 minutes. And yeah, hopefully it's not that big of a deal. We can talk about that later, but let's talk about the dog. The absolute dog tonight, Domantas Sabonis. Also, shout out to our guy, Steven Larson, who do the best wrestling podcast in the world, Going In a Raw. They just rated us on Twitch. Appreciate you guys, hanging out with us as we talk about this Kings win. Yeah, Domantas Sabonis, 24 points, 21 rebounds tonight. He also had 5 assists and 4 blocks, Morgan.
Oh, my God.
The guy was an animal, even late in that game. I know there was one sequence where he missed a shot, you know, lost the ball or whatever, but he got a few rebounds in a row. He had 3 guys around him. They're being physical with him. Royce O'Neal's like, I thought was punching him in the back at one point. They were punching him physical with him.
Did you see him even grab the ball, a rebound with his one hand? Like, at one point, he was just like, just beastly, right? And I saw a stat or a tweet from StatMuse that most 2020 games this season, Sabonis with 4, Giannis with 3. Nobody else has more than 2 this season.
Well, since we're throwing out those random stats, we might as well keep going on this. With his rebound numbers tonight, finishing with 21, he passed Otis Thorpe, who did it 1987-88 for the most rebounds in a single season in Kings history. That is wild. The other thing he did at halftime, he had 20, 12, and 3 blocks at halftime. First player this season with at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks in the first half of a game. And he joins Giannis as the only players with 20 and 10 in the opening half of a game. Giannis has done that 3 times. So the monster numbers continue, and it's wild to see him continue, whether it's a triple-double, a double-double. He gets monster ones. I saw our guy Wob even drop that in the last 3 games. Sabonis has 55 rebounds and 30 assists.
You guys,
I mean,
I know after last game, we're talking about Mr. Fourth Quarter, De'Aaron Fox, everything that he's been able to do. And sometimes we shy away from Domas Sabonis because it's like, oh, another triple dub. We expect it. Truly, when you see these type of games where nobody can get anything going and he goes, guys, I got you from the start. Just get on my back. Let's go for this ride. He takes everyone to the victory line in so many more ways than one. I mean, with the way that he commands people off of his DHOs, the way that he helps people just move without the basketball. And then he's a beast and a half down low in the paint. Amazing.
He was 8 of 14 tonight from the field, 8 of 9 from the free throw line tonight too. And he gave the Kings everything they had. He played 38 minutes. This team was being physical with him. They were banging him around, and his team needed everything he could give tonight, and he brought it on the second night of a back-to-back. Now, someone I think on Twitter was asking me, where do you rank him as a Kings bid? Like with Cousins, with Weber, and him. Dude, it's so early because actually Jason Ross told me this. This is actually Sabonis tonight played his 82nd game as a member of the Sacramento Kings, with the Sacramento Kings. So he is officially played 1 season with the Kings, and think about everything he's accomplished. So those guys obviously played for a lot longer in Sacramento. It's sample size.
Yeah.
But here's what Jason Ross put out. He has now played 82 games as a King. As a King, he is averaging 19 points, 12 rebounds, 7 dimes. He has 68 double-doubles and 11 triple-doubles. He has 5 2020 games, 2 Western Conference Players of the Week, plus a trip to the All-Star game. The Kings' record in those 82 games, by the way, for Sabonis, 46-36.
You know, I probably like if you're in Milwaukee or even Golden State when Steph is having a great year, you're so used to these type of things.
Yeah.
You know, every week they're a Western Conference, Eastern Conference Player of the Week, or they're just putting up these stats that are breaking records left and right. In Kingsland, it just hasn't even been close to that in so damn long. And like the reaching for like, oh man, Buddy Hield knocked down another 3. And it's like, how many did he chuck up though? You know, it's like you just reach for these stats. What we're seeing here, there's so much meat to these stats that De'Aaron, that Sabonis are putting up for the Sacramento Kings this season. They're so impactful. That is absolutely incredible.
Let's talk about what he did defensively tonight. I felt like he was moving well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bringing him out, pick and roll situations. And, you know, sometimes in space you worry about that. I think he's worked so hard on that aspect of the game. There's sometimes you see him in tough situations. I thought early in the game, the Kings had some switches that were problematic. I think Barnes at one point was switched on Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie blew right by him to the basket. Another sequence where Bridges had Sabonis on him one-on-one. It was a good night. But as the game went on, I felt like the Kings did a great job moving and communicating on defense. And Sabonis, that guy busts his ass. Like, some of the stuff that's been put out there about Jokic recently, and it's like, oh, is he trying defensively? What's going on? I just never see that from Sabonis. Like with Sabonis, if someone gets a bucket on him, more times than not, it's a mismatch, or it's just like he can only do so much. The guy plays so hard. And when you have a guy that is one of your guys play that hard every single night with how much he's getting hit and banged on and all the responsibility he shoulders by being the main distributor on offense, it's incredible, man. I think he deserves more love for what he does defensively. It's not perfect all the time, but I think overall you're never going to question the effort from Sabonis.
I remember talking to a lot of, not a ton, but a few Pacers media members as the trade was happening and everything, and they were complaining to me about his defense and kind of being like, hey, have fun with that. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. I mean, you've been around it. You've watched it so much more than I was.
He was also
watching.
playing with Turner, right?
Right. So that's exactly my point. It's something that was truly situational. I doubt it was his effort. I'm sure it was just trying to find your spot. And who are you defending if you're playing right side by side with Miles Turner, right? Are you taking on someone that is so much more difficult that you have to depend on your second line of defense? Sabonis is that second line of defense. And on top of that, he seems like he's probably in some of the best shape of his life, the way that he is moving from side to side laterally and being able to close out. So active defensively. And you saw this team really pick up the pace in that second half. And I'm just like, how do they turn it out? Second night of a back-to-back, got in at 4 a.m., and they're just, the second half, turning it on to another level.
Yeah, they had to grind it out, but they get the win tonight, 101-96. Morgan, sometimes when the people in the chat have a request, you give them something, right? Okay. Well, Felipe has something for me.
What does he have?
And you may not like it.
Oh.
Hey, Deuce. Could you please bark for the dog of the game, Sabonis? Well, let's just look at the results. The poll question tonight from the YouTube people. Who is your dog of the game? Is it Domas or Sabonis?
Great bit.
There's one answer.
Great bit.
It's a man that got you 24, 21, 5, and 4 blocks.
Do you love that people are still picking both? They're like, which one do I pick?
It's pretty simple.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
Domas Sabonis.
Oh.
Your dog.
Okay. Stop.
Of the game.
Literally makes me like vomit.
You know, sometimes I do
In my
wish
mouth.
you'd buy in a little more on that.
If you just
people
did
here
like
it.
woof.
The people here love it.
Felipe likes it.
Felipe loves it.
And maybe Jason. Oh my God. You sickos.
Hey, you know what Morgan doesn't like?
What?
Sometimes the attention goes back to me. She's got the vocals. I can't sing like
I don't need the attention.
I can't sing like Morgan, but I can tell you this. I bark way better than Morgan. I'm a first team all barker.
That is true. I cannot bark.
You can call me Bob.
What? No. Stupid.
It was kind of funny.
That's stupid.
It's kind of funny.
Oh my God.
So we talk about Sabonis. We talk about the second night of a back-to-back, finding a way to grind this one out. De'Aaron Fox kind of struggled at times today to find his shot. He was 5 of 16, but 18.6 rebounds, 5 assists for him tonight. I thought the bench stepped up too tonight. You know, Malik Monk had some moments tonight where, again, that Fox-Sabonis pick and roll is so sexy. There was a play late in the game where, man, Sabonis is well above the three-point arc. And I'm like, what's the plan here? Like, what's the plan? And it was like, oh, the plan is we're going to spread this out.
Yep.
Monk's going to get going downhill, and boom, let's feed the big fella, Domantas Sabonis, a little pick-and-roll action.
Spacing.
And Monk has some unbelievably challenging passes that he gives Sabonis, and Sabonis is always ready. When you see Sabonis cutting, his hands are out, ready to go to finish it. That connection between those two is really special, and Monk had 6 dimes in this game tonight.
And it keeps building. It keeps getting better. You know, how many times in the beginning of the season are we talking about, wow, Sabonis and Herter, it's like they've played together forever. And then that started to build and get stronger and stronger with Malik Monk. And I'm so glad that it did, because he's just so athletic. He's so quick, and he is so crafty when it comes to his passing ability, playmaking ability. I think he feeds off of the way that Sabonis passes it to him. They feel where each other are going to be. For example, when it is that dribble handoff, or like instead of it handing it off, it's more of Sabonis bouncing it just right here, and Monk is coming from the opposite side, knowing that the bounce is just going to be coming off his other shoulder. You know, all the defenders are already shifted this way, so he comes off this way, just so precise, so perfectly. It's so fundamental and beautiful, but it really takes practice and having that trust and that chemistry with one another, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, and the Kings have built chemistry pretty fast for a team that's still learning each other. I mean, I know we're deep in the season, but this is the first season with like Malik Monk and Sabonis playing with each other, and they've got a legit chemistry. We saw Kessler Edwards get some moments tonight, and dude, Kessler against his former team, he comes out and he plays defense, man. I feel like the Kings found a little something with Kessler Edwards. I know the offense isn't always going to be there with him, but tonight knocked down a couple of threes.
Yeah.
He was 4 or 6. He had 10 points. He had 3 rebounds. He'll go up and try to get some of these boards. He plays physical. His defense tonight was good.
Dude,
I like Kessler.
He didn't even have like a role with the Nets this last year, right? With everyone that they had on their roster. So for him to come to an entirely different team at the trade deadline and not find any place in the rotation, finds a moment, and they see, oh, there's potential here. Finds another big moment. Oh, he's efficient in his time. And now I just think it's about like finding that comfort, right? Like playing with these guys for the first time. You've been around for a month and a half. And yeah, I love what he adds with his wingspan, with his size, especially you go up against some long players like Mikal Bridges and Nick Claxton. It's the exact type of modern day NBA body type that you want.
And that the Kings lack.
And that exactly. And the Kings lack. One thing before I forget, we also didn't mention that Sabonis had 4 blocks.
I did.
You did in the stat line? Okay.
Of course
I just felt like that was like huge.
I at the very top I mentioned that.
Okay.
24 points, 21 rebounds, 5 Frankie D's, and 4 blocks.
Yeah.
I don't think the Frankie D thing's sticking.
It's not sticking.
But I haven't used it enough.
Yeah, so there you go. Frankie D's are assists because Franklin D. Roosevelt's on the dime.
Yeah, Frankie D's, man.
Yeah, no,
Frankie D's.
They get it. We're trying.
Do you think it's going to work?
For us and for any of the hardcores.
Sometimes you just got to shoot it. You got to get your shot up
Yeah.
for sure. It's amazing reading the chat tonight. We have a lot of people just dropping "Shut Up and Light the Beam." We have one person who's literally writing the lyrics of your song in the chat.
What? That is hilarious. My mom texted.
Yeah.
She said, "Shut up and light the fucking beam." I love her.
We mentioned this in the pre-podcast, but the
What?
response to Morgan's "Shut Up and Light the Beam" song was pretty outrageous. And we did this as just a stupid little joke thing. And of course, we get into it because we're performers, entertainers.
So we think.
And it was fun. It was great. It was cool to see the response. I guess this morning, I didn't realize this until late this afternoon. One of Sacramento's enemies had something to say about it.
Stop calling him that.
Some people feel that way. I don't. I think JJ Redick is a great guy, but JJ Redick acknowledged Morgan's singing.
He acknowledged, our performance. Come on.
That's fine. All he said, though, was need this on a Spotify playlist.
You guys, he's down to light the beam. He's down to be on board. You got it. You got to invite everybody in. You got to get over it. I'm sorry. Even Jalen and Jacoby, them talking about the Tyrese Halliburton. No, because I'm not going to be a petty weirdo when it comes to even bandwagoners that want to jump on.
Okay,
Come on.
Speaking of jumping, you're jumping everywhere. JJ Redick was critical of the trade, apologized, everything.
Held himself accountable.
His opinion was off. He overreacted, and he has owned up to it. Jalen and Jacoby were literally inaccurate and wrong,
Very wrong.
Factually about what they were saying.
And rude, but yes.
So we're not doing that.
I'm just feeling good tonight.
No, and that's fine. You could feel good about that tonight.
Thanks, Deuce.
Get out of here.
Going-
Thank you, chat. F. Jalen Jacob. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Hey, if you're in the chat right now, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Can you help us out, though? Hit that thumbs up button because it just helps our channel grow so more Kings and NBA fans around the world see this channel. Also, subscribe. We're closing in on 11,000 subs.
Kessler Edwards revenge game tonight. Love that he had to add a little bit, and love that he was asked in post-game presser, just like, were you excited for this game? He's like, oh yeah, like I looked forward to this.
Well, think about it from Kessler Edwards' perspective. He had some nice moments last year with the Nets and looked like, oh, maybe he could be a part of something. Wasn't really playing this year. And right before the trade deadline, the team you were with trades you for a player who's never coming over, who plays overseas, and literally sent cash with you to Sacramento. Basically, put it this way, Kessler Edwards, you got traded for nothing. They paid a team to take you. That's even if it's not meant to be insulting.
It's not.
The way I put it out there, it feels insulting, right?
Absolutely. Here's millions of dollars. Please take him with you.
But look at him now. He's getting an opportunity on a team that's going to be in the playoffs, a team that's near the top of the Western Conference.
Just a great little Monty McNair tweak, Wes Wilcox, all those guys behind the scenes making another tweak. I dig it. Dig it a lot.
Someone in the chat asking who got the defensive player of the game, Shane. It was actually Malik Monk tonight. We need to talk more about the Kings defense, Morgan, because I felt like they were super active defensively.
They were.
I felt like deflections were good. Keegan had some nice moments. You want to hear what Mike Brown had to say about before you have thoughts on it? I can't talk tonight, as you could tell.
You're doing great.
I'll let you get to your thoughts on the defense, but let's hear from Mike Brown explaining why Malik Monk got the DPOG chain tonight. I don't know why I'm not here. Nick, oh my God, Nick came in here. Hold on, Nick. You son of a gun, Nick.
Coach Nick
not
trying
tonight. Here's Mike Brown explaining why Malik Monk won the DPOG.
I thought throughout the whole game he was pretty good, and not necessarily getting a lot of steals and all that, but his positioning was pretty good. He was communicating. And then down the stretch, they tried to, pick on him a little bit. They tried to ISO him versus McHale, and you're not stopping a guy like McHale. He's a young player that's a really, really good player. He's going to be a great player someday at a very high level. But you just try to make him work. And I thought there were 2 or 3 possessions where he kind of showed his hands and chested them and made him take tough middies that McHale's able to hit. But if he hits those and we lose, we live with those. We live with that situation. So he deserved it throughout, more so towards the end of the game and them trying to go at him, but him holding his ground. We didn't have to take him out or anything like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was Mike also saying, he did some nice things. Let's reward good behavior. Even if it wasn't perfect the whole night, you did some good things.
Right.
Malik Monk's face right now. This is kind of funny. Like, oh shit, I'm getting this. Wow.
You know what? And what I do agree with though is because what we even saw from that Bulls game the other night, Kings Film Room, who puts out great content, by the way, put out this clip of the Kings in a 2-3 defense. And I noticed Malik Monk being one of the top guys, the way that he was rotating, communicating. You could hear them all communicating within this. But truly, I noticed his closeout, his chopping his feet, all the little details that you want for a defense to be completed for a great defensive possession. Malik Monk, he's a big part of that. He's like that glue guy that makes a lot of that work. I know we always talk about the anchor, Domas Sabonis, who also can finish off a play with a great defensive rebound or a block. But Malik Monk really just holding your guy, putting on that perimeter pressure is huge.
Lee in the chat was mentioning that 2 of the 3 fouls that were called against Keegan tonight were bogus. Well, the one that he got where Bridges drove on him,
Soft.
minimal contact,
Soft.
and then fell back, hit the end one. I'm like, come on.
Bridges sold it, and it was a weird angle.
Yeah.
But like, what?
So what is Keegan supposed to do in that situation?
Nothing.
Okay.
He got screwed. He got screwed in that situation there. But you know what I would have done if I was Keegan? I would have shown a little bit of emotion. I've been like to the ref, like, what the shit is that?
Yeah, you want him to get a little hot?
Yeah, I want to see like at least a little bit of like a mouth like crease. Yeah, like there's nothing there. He was just like, because he knew he didn't foul him. He didn't do anything wrong.
How do you feel? Did you feel tonight that the defense did some good things, or was it like, hey, also the Nets don't have like a true shot creator, primary shot creator?
The Nets can hit shots. I mean, they have shooters on this squad, and they held this.
I know, but they don't have like a guy. Like Bridges has been really good, but you still don't think of him as like a number one on the team at this point.
The Kings held this team under 100 points. The last time they did that, I think it was against the Cavs a while ago. So, I mean, however you want to look at it, even if the Nets were missing a lot of shots, I do want to give love to the defensive intensity. Like, it wasn't perfect at times, and a lot of times it was just the Nets missing shots, but there was still a lot of good moments from the Kings defense and better moments that we've seen game by game that I think we have to give credit to.
We got more coming up, and I want to talk about in a second the significance of what tonight means.
Okay.
Because it's deeper than just tonight's game. I think we've covered this game pretty well, unless you have any other thoughts.
Trey Lyles back in action. Loved seeing
Welcome
him.
back, Trey Bay.
I'm a Trey Bay.
Yeah, Trey gave you 11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 of 8 shooting, knocked down a couple of threes. I love Trey Lyles.
Yep. And that was pretty
Steady.
much it. Steady.
He comes in and does his thing, plays hard, attacking the basket, hitting the three. I love it. I love Trey Lyles.
Dig his vibe.
We do need to say this. We mentioned this pre-podcast, but we are going to announce this, that April 14th, Friday, April 14th, downtown Sacramento, we are hosting our first live event. It's going to be a Friday night, 7 p.m. It's going to be just blocks away from the Golden One Center the night before the NBA playoffs start. Yes, the night before the NBA playoffs start. We'll be doing a show Friday night. We'll have a lot of fun. It's going to be just a couple blocks away, as I mentioned, from Golden One Center at Solomon's upstairs in the Russ Room. That is named after Russ Solomon, the founder of Tower Records, Sacramento icon, and the founder of Tower Records is a big deal.
It's very Sacramento.
It is totally Sacramento, man. So we are hosting, I believe, their first live podcast that they've ever hosted there.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lot of different live events there.
Yeah.
But probably their first podcast, I think, is what they said. So, yeah, excited for that. And more information and tickets will be sold next week. So make sure that you're just, we'll have so many night chats and everything as well.
Yeah, we're going to announce it a ton. So you guys will know when tickets go on sale, all that stuff. And tickets will be just $10. There are no extra fees. We're absorbing the fees. $10. I believe we're going to sell 150. That's all we can sell.
Yeah, we have to
the
cap it
cutoff's
off.
at 150.
Yeah.
And if we do well, maybe we'll do a bigger venue at some other point. But for the first one, we wanted to do more of an intimate setting anyway, with the hardcore of hardcore, Deuce, Bags, and Morons to come out and celebrate the Kings being back in the playoffs. We'll be doing a live event, 7 o'clock, downtown Sacramento, just a block or two away from Golden One Center.
Also, if you are planning on coming and you're like, whoa, I want to rock some Deuce Mo merch, make sure you go to deucemo.com. You can click on merch, see everything there. And we still have a promo code for 20% off. And it's thank you.
Thank you. We are presented tonight by our buddy Sean Stanfield over at rate.com/Sean Stanfield. Hey, Morgan, if you're looking for a house, what do you suggest?
I suggest you hit up Sean Stanfield. Why? He makes everything in life easier. Seriously, he's done this for many of our listeners now, which I just think is the coolest thing because we only recommend people and products and businesses that we believe in. And I just hope anyone that has questions about buying a house or if they can even afford a house, just go to Sean. Like, he's not even you don't have to text him for the rest of your life. You can hit him up like one nighter and say bye and never text him again. Whatever you need, just ask Sean.
Yeah, if you have questions about if you could afford a house, what the steps are like, hit up Sean, 916-276-7563. That's 916-276-7563. Or go to his website, rate.com/Sean Stanfield. He'll give you all the information you need, send you a video, break everything down. He's not trying to push you into buying a house. He's going to make sure it makes sense for you. So hit him up, rate.com/Sean Stanfield, equal housing lender. Subject to credit approval. That's NMLS ID number 349707. Company NMLS ID number 2611. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Thanks so much to our friends at Guaranteed Rates.
Guaranteed.
Great.
Guaranteed.
Great.
And Sean also works with a local realtor that once you can go, I can afford a house. Oh, but I got to find a house. What do I do? You hit up Joey Reagan over at Lion Real Estate. Who knows Sacramento real estate better than Joey Reagan?
No one.
Nobody.
No one.
Nobody's got a greater passion for Sacramento than Joey.
Truth. It's the truth. And seriously, he just put a house on the market, sold it in one weekend, right? I mean, I know. No. I'm like, you guys, go hit up Joey. He can help you sell your home if you're looking to sell your home. He can help you buy a home if you're looking to buy a home. I know he's helped people even with condos, renting, all different things. So make sure that you go and hit up Joey Reagan.
Yeah. Obviously, it's Morgan's brother too, so you could trust him. Like, I would not be recommending, hey, go use my dad for something because he'd probably steal from you.
Good.
Joey
and
is
I don't
going
think
to
he could afford sponsorships.
No,
with us.
he definitely couldn't. So go to jreagan.golion.com. That's jreagan.golion.com, or call or text him at 916-412-4592. That's 916-412-4592. That's license number 0212807. Appreciate everyone's support of our podcast.
Thank you.
All right, Morgan.
Yes.
42 wins.
Let's talk about it.
I was driving home tonight after the game, and I had a brief moment. Secret time?
Yeah, secret time. What?
A brief moment. I got a little teary-eyed for a second.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
You told me you just got emotional.
Yeah, and I feel like once they clinch, who knows? Because if I was feeling that way tonight, it feels so crazy that the Kings have 42 wins. And you're going, it's a sports team, you pathetic man. You're a grown man and you're feeling this way? Oh, yeah. That little basketball team doing good for you, Bubba? No, but it is so much deeper. And I think all the people who listen to our podcast get that. I'm saying that more so for the random-ass fans from other NBA teams that listen to this going, God, you guys are pathetic.
You cry a lot.
How you celebrate every win. You don't have a fog machine. You might tear up. But we haven't seen this in so long. I've mentioned this so many times, Morgan. But before this season, the Kings had 8 winning seasons in their entire time in Sacramento. And as of tonight, number 9. And they've only made the playoffs 10 times going into this year. This year, it's going to be number 11. And those 8 winning seasons all came 8 in a row. The last one coming 05-06. It was all under Rick Adelman. So Mike Brown is joining some, special company, right? Like, he is the only other coach to lead a Kings team above 500 in a season. You just think about everything that we've all been through with this team and the emotions of maybe this team going to Seattle. That could have altered our life, right?
I mean, the city of Sacramento.
Yeah. And the team stayed, yes. But then the pain of losing and dysfunction and coaches after coaches. And you think about where they are now.
You wouldn't have thought that this is the thing I keep saying, you guys, is that to start the season, I was like, okay, I could imagine playing conversation. There's not a world where a team takes a giant leap just because they add a brand new head coach and they made a trade at the last trade deadline, for whatever. At the time, Sabonis, like, we knew what he could add, but we We didn't know he was going to be an all-star this year. We didn't know it was going to help create De'Aaron Fox into an all-star. And that was my other point. It was like, unless you're adding a superstar name like a Devin Booker, or Kevin Durant, or LeBron James, even just throw out his name, how are you going to take this leap? How they did it, it has just been absolutely incredible, true to basketball, true to development, patience, all of those things, and just buying in and trusting one another.
Yeah, and as much as I liked Sabonis pre-trade, and it was someone that we had talked about before on the podcast, it's so great to get Sabonis. I was definitely leery about the ceiling of a Fox-Sabonis pairing.
Yeah.
Especially with how Fox is playing Sabonis. And it's hard to see it in the beginning, too, because, you don't know what other moves are happening, if they're going to add shooting. You're going, what is the ceiling of this group? And we still don't know what the ceiling is. But I'll tell you this, even if you're the most optimistic, I don't know that you would have been like, hey, they can be a number 2 seed. And if you did, you probably are like, well, maybe give it a couple of years when they play together and a legit coach and some moves. They're the number 2 seed right now, and they're likely going to stay in the top 3 headed into the playoffs. It's insane.
And it's sustainable for the future, right? And for everything that they're trying to build. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about this is that how many years, and I'm sure there's other teams that we could mention that I can't remember off the top of my head, that do the whole hey, who are we going to get in the buyout market or at the trade deadline to make that playoff push? But really it's something where it's not going to be sustainable. Oh, like Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving. What's that going to really turn into? Is he going to go to the Lakers next year? Is it just trying to make one thing happen quickly so then you can make that extra step? But really it doesn't work like that. For the Kings, they're just doing it the right way. And I appreciate it so much, but never in a million years would I have been able to say that they are where they are.
And I think you're right. It is sustainable.
Yeah.
I was trying to dig up a picture while you talked of your vision board you did because someone in the chat mentioned this. And it's a good time to talk about that tonight.
Yeah, actually.
It's on the wall behind us. For those who don't know, for those who listen to us during the off season, thank you. Morgan, prior to the season, did a vision board for the Kings season, and she put it together, and she had a whole bunch of different items. It's something we've referenced before this season on the podcast, but now that the Kings clinched a winning season, holy shit.
Can
we go over some of the items?
Please. Do you want me to just grab it?
You have to peel it off the wall, though. You can try. And Morgan, there's something you did say about you didn't know Fox and Sabonis would be all-stars like this. It's not only that they're all-stars, Morgan. They're likely to be at least one of them, but probably both of them now, all NBA players. We're talking about top 15 in the league, Morgan.
No.
All NBA.
That you guys, and what dudes, what are we even saying right now? Mike Brown is probably and should be coach of the year.
Yeah.
Monty McNair could be executive of the year.
All right, so this is Morgan's vision board she made before the season. For you guys that have never seen this before, this is before the season. Morgan, can you go over the items on it? The centerpiece is a picture of De'Aaron Fox. Why?
So I had De'Aaron Fox right there. My whole point was this season is going to revolve around De'Aaron Fox. And I might have some of these things wrong from what I said before, but I'm pretty sure I have it all right. I said this season's going to be about this man. If he can take a leap, and I wasn't even thinking all-star. I wasn't even thinking all-NBA team. I was like, things are going to be different if this guy changes things. Now, take a look at the basketball. The basketball has a whole bunch of 41s on it. I joked to Deuce. I was like, oh, they're not going to win 41 wins, but how great would that be if they were a 500 team? How great would that be?
You put that on your vision board, and they reach it. Vision boards, I almost believe in them. And what else?
You
no,
should.
But
Okay.
what do you put under Fox? What's that say?
Enjoyable basketball. You guys, we legit have the funnest team. The Kings are the funnest team in the NBA. They are. And not just because of the story, which does add to obviously watching them play every night and in the type of basketball, the style that they play. But it is so fun. It is so team oriented. It's free. Amazing.
So you've nailed that with your vision, but let's also talk about this. Our incredible 16-year tragedy.
Oh,
What's
yes.
that mean?
So
and the playoff drought. You
got-
put that on your vision board.
That can almost make me cry because how I put that on the vision board there's belief, obviously, when you put on the vision board, but there's more want. It's like, this is what I want, but I'm like, reach for the moon, land upon the stars. So I was fine even if they didn't make the playoffs and they made the play-in at the beginning of the season. But, yep, ending our 16-year tragedy.
Why is J-Lo on it?
So J-Lo was on it because I had bought a People magazine to make this. And I was like, you know what? I just kind of need to throw her on there. And my whole point about J-Lo was like, if she could like, well, I could have gone to the ring thing and been like, if she can get ring after ring, like the Kings can get a ring. But I think that my real thing for J-Lo was like, if she can like go through these very public breakups and get back up again and then marry someone else, the Kings can get up from whatever the hell that they have to be thrown at them.
Okay, you have
Very
a
weird.
Sacramento Proud sticker with a cross out red under over it. Why?
Yes.
Why was that no?
So really, it was about the whole team that was there, right? And it was like, we need to be the opposite of what this team was. There were so many great guys on this squad that I have on there. Like Bogey is on there. I think Harry Giles, like really good people.
But you wanted to move on from that time.
I wanted to move on from just good people. I need good people and good basketball.
Okay, and then you have your teammates. It
So
looks like
now,
old college
these,
or high school.
These are my AAU teammates
Okay.
from one of my favorite teams ever, NorCal Elite. And I had some of the funnest times with these teammates on all of our trips. We were traveling.
So why'd you put them on there?
So I put them on there because I was like, that's the vibe I want this team to have. I was just hoping that this team could have like friendships and vibes that I had. If you're having this much fun, you're winning basketball in colleges, we're looking at you.
Just this was made in like September?
No, I saw your tweet. It said July of 2022.
Okay, I found this. Okay, here it goes. Yes, July 27th. You made this July 27th, 2022.
You guys, make vision boards.
This might, if the Kings won it all this year, which, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be Deucey Downer here, but either way, you might want to put this in like a Hall of Fame.
Should we bring it to the live show? I was gonna say that. I think we should have a few things like the fog machine on a stool. We should have like this on a stool. A few things just to like shine a light on.
Guys, am I crazy? Like I'm curious what the chat thinks. Yeah, manifest. Okay.
Yeah. No, and I think, you know, if anyone had read like The Secret, right? The most obvious things like be positive, the power of positivity, right? Truly, even with this vision board, I wasn't just making it for a bit or a joke. I was like, this is bullshit. Like Deuce and I we have all experiences, but Deuce and I covered every single game last year, and it was so miserable at times, even though it was fun that we were all miserable together. But it was just like, when are we going to talk hoops and not just about how depressing this is? Vision board it, man.
But how often is a vision board just absolutely like nailed?
I don't know. That's a little creepy. Is that weird? That's a little weird. The J-Lo thing was the thing that was like the most off, but I had the People magazine, and
what's even
like
what's even crazier? Somehow Morgan had light the beam on here.
No. What if the red line was like
that would be insane? Yeah,
yeah. So anyway,
dude, give it up to Morgan for that vision.
Oh my God, thank you. Remember, you and I were supposed to make vision boards together, and Deuce was like, "Can you just make yours? I don't have time." And I was like, "Okay." That was fun.
So you had that vision, you put that out there in the universe. And honestly, it's this year has just been so fun. And I know we still have a long way to go. The Kings still have 13 games left.
Yeah.
Technically haven't clinched a playoff spot, but they're going to be in the playoffs. They have a chance at 50 wins. Like, this is one of the most magical Kings seasons, not only obviously in the last 16 years, but in my life, like even the rise they had in the late 90s into the mid 2000s, like, you know, the 98, 99 coming out of nowhere. Then the peak was like 01, 02, 02, 03. Weber goes down, and then it kind of pittered out, right? 04, 05 wasn't like great, right? It wasn't fun. 05, 06, it got off to a terrible start. They trade Peja, they get Artest, they have Bonzi, and they make it. And it's like, oh my God, they had one of the best records later in the season. They pushed the Spurs to the brink, but they lost that series. And they hadn't made it back since. And this team this year is doing things we've never seen done before from a Sacramento Kings team. You're going to have a chance to have 2 All-NBA guys. This fan base deserves it so much, and that's why it gets me emotional about it. I'm serious. Like, this fan base has seen so much shit, been through so much pain. Oh, it's so disgusting. And this is what they're getting.
None of this would be worth it, truly, without the community and the backup. Like, I can't imagine if one of the shit fan bases, truly, because there are. And that's okay, because sometimes they just have other teams that are bigger in their city that they want to put more attention to, or that's just part of their culture or whatever. But like, they don't have the backing of everyone to get through a miserable season. And we all did it together and stayed true for 16 of these awful seasons together. That to me is super special. And that's why, like, whenever people say like, oh, Kings fans are the best fans in the world, I'm not being a homer. I mean, look at us. Look at us. And that's also why, though, any NBA person that's just a fan of a different team that might be listening to this later or tonight, I mean, just know the feelings that we felt were some of the lowest of low. And when you love something so much and you consume so much of that content, as in these basketball games, and then you see it so good, you better believe we're going to celebrate every damn minute of it.
It's been fun reading the chat tonight, too. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thanks so much to Steven, who became a subscriber. Dash2469 donating $5, saying,
Thanks.
just realized there is a beam on Golden One Center right now while UCLA is playing there. Kind of funny.
Whoa, that's
also,
cool.
thank you so much to Eric Ramirez
Thank
for donating
you.
$20. And for a couple of new followers on Twitch. What's up, Jordan and Manic? Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you
so
guys.
much. If you haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. It helps us grow. Make sure to subscribe too. There was a question here from Ben that I want to get to. Can we talk about the Kings being a 50-win team and being in the position this offseason to go all in to compete for a championship? Does it change the direction for the team in the offseason? Yeah, I mean, I do think you just need to. Yes, they should be more. They should be aggressive in the pursuit of a championship. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And just see how the playoffs go, for sure. Like, let's see what it looks like. I think we all have a pretty good idea of the weaknesses of this team. And despite their weaknesses, they could have a chance to make a nice run depending on where they line up in the playoffs.
And track record shows those weaknesses get exposed by 20 in the postseason, right? It's just different basketball. And so factor that into your mind when watching these games, or when watching this team in the playoffs this year. But what I will say, absolutely don't count them out. Do not count them out now. Like, I'm a pure believer of what they can accomplish, but I am factoring in experience.
Sure. But they win on the road.
Yeah.
They score a ton of points.
Yep.
They can beat you in different ways. They've got firepower at a lot of positions. Even if, like, Kevin Huerter misses time, you don't want Kevin Huerter to be out extended time right now. But you go, well, they've got Malik Monk. Terrence Davis started the second half tonight. Didn't play a lot.
I know.
They went with different lineups. They went bigger at times. We saw lineups with like Fox, Kessler, Keegan, HB, and Sabonis.
Yeah.
We saw Lyles in that one point. I'm sorry, Morgan. Ugh. I was trying to hold in the burp.
I know. And you almost did. And then I was like,
that's my bad. That's my bad.
No. Hey, holding yourself accountable.
Back to Ben's question. Yeah, be aggressive for sure. You want to be careful too. Like, this thing is growing and you want to make the right move, but yeah, you got to be aggressive. You have a chance, go for it, because these chances don't come along all the time. I mean, people in Sacramento know this, and the Kings definitely are going to have to make tweaks over the offseason. But, you know, I'm also, whenever I see that type of stuff go on in our Discord where people are like, what about trading this guy or something? I'm like, I'm not even entertaining that right now. I am so locked into this team, what it is now, what they can do to go to the next level. Let's deal with that later.
Yeah. No, I'm absolutely with you. And I think it's not like a weak mindset. It's not like, oh, no, just appreciate it. No, I'm like trying to be cute. It's truly, you haven't seen certain things from this team when it comes to that level of basketball. So, like, just wait and see, right? Like, don't have expectations for it, except that they're going to play all out with all their effort and have their same style of basketball. But otherwise just like enjoy the ride.
Kendo says, do you think players will be more likely to come here now that we are winning? Yeah, I think you still have to prove it a little bit. I mean, it takes a while. When you've had a bad reputation for a long time, it could take some time to shift that narrative. I mean, it's still Sacramento, and the perception from players around the league is Sacramento. There's nothing to do there. You know what, Kings? Have your free agents meet with Deuce and Mo. We'll
Oh, my
take them around
God.
the city. We can be the ambassadors for the city. We'll sell anybody on this city, and they'll stay here forever. But in all seriousness, yeah, I do think, I don't know about like the marquee free agents. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to predict that type of stuff. But I think when the Kings were a really good team in the early 2000s, they were able to attract some solid guys because of what they built. They got Brad Miller in a sign and trade deal. He became an all-star here again. You know, Keon Clark.
It's California, and you get to play on a team that shares the basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to play on a team that knows how to pass the ball around? And if the ball isn't passed, no superstar is going to get their way. One, because there's not a superstar on this team, but two, because Mike Brown won't let that shit go down. So it hopefully is something that becomes more and more appealing to some of these guys.
Brian in the chat says, according to Eddie Gonzalez, who does the podcast with Kevin Durant, also the Run with Shams on that show. Who else is Chandler Parsons?
Oh, good job.
And is it Michelle Beadle? Anyway, he's a Sacramento guy. He was on with D'Lo and Casey today.
Yeah.
And I've heard him say this before. According to Eddie Gonzalez, Sacramento is one of Kevin Durant's favorite places. Loves the arena and loves the area.
Well, why didn't he come here instead of?
Yeah, right.
Don't need him. Whatever.
We don't need him. No, but I do think, yeah, I think the Kings are changing their reputation fast. People around the league, especially guys who watch the game, watch what Sacramento's doing, and they're playing a fun style. I mean, this isn't just like, hey, people in Sacramento think it's fun because the Kings are winning. It's like, no, you legitimately you watch their games. They're must watch in the league. We talk to people from all over. From all over the country.
Yeah.
People who we know who work in the NBA or other teams are like, no, this is like a must-watch team.
Dude, No Dunks, their title today was something about John Morant, and then De'Aaron says, shut up and light the beam. I'm just like, yes, love you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, people are watching this team because they want to, because it is fun.
Let's go and check in with a guy. We have to check in every game unless he skips out on us.
Oh.
Oops, my bad. He is Nick. What's up, Nick?
What's up, Deuce and Mo? How you doing, Morgan?
Someone sounds happy tonight.
Like the beat, fire the laser.
Fire the laser.
Do the fire laser thing.
I knew he was going to ask for it.
I was hoping he wouldn't. Look at that.
Arm the laser.
I'm in the laser! Begin laser ignition!
Fire the laser! I don't even have it anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys, I used to be
But
good.
Nick loves it so much.
I know.
Fire the laser!
Yeah,
There you go,
you
Nick.
do
Thank
it better
you,
than
thank
me.
you.
I think you got to do it.
All right, Nick, what do you think of the game tonight?
Hey, I was excited that they won tonight. Hey, why not win tonight?
Why not win tonight? What did you like so much about tonight? Was it De'Aaron Fox? Was it Domas Sabonis rebounding?
It was Foxy and Domas Sabonis.
Yeah.
How do you feel that the Kings clinched a winning season and they're probably going to the playoffs?
Oh, yeah, heck yes. Give me a hell yes.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Who's your dog?
Oh my God, he's taking all your lines.
Yeah,
I
you're
like
doing
it.
all my shtick. Who's your dog of the game, Nick?
Who's your dog of the game? I think it's Domas Sabonis.
Yeah.
Well, if you say that, you have to do your bark, man. What's your bark like?
Woof, 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 woof.
I like it. That's like
Your
mine.
dog's too nice, Nick. Make that dog sound a little angry.
Woof, woof.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Still a little nice though.
You could join me on April 14th, downtown Sacramento. I will be with Dusamo. I'll be working with Dusamo, along with Dusamo, at the studio on the 14th downtown side.
Wait, he's working? What does he mean?
Nick, we'll definitely have you a part of the show for sure.
I would like to talk with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh my! Did you tell him something I don't know?
No, I don't remember. I think I told Nick we're doing a live show, but yeah. Well, and are you there, Nick? All right,
Nick. Well, sleep beams.
Sleep beams. We lost Nick. Okay. He's going to be part of the show.
If he's part, we'll do a 5-minute segment with Coach Nick.
Nick has to give us a little pre-playoff pep talk.
Well, we have a few special guests, so that's why it's gonna be great. What?
We got this. I think we've got time for Nick.
Oh no, are you? I wasn't saying we don't have time for Nick.
Okay.
I just didn't want him. I didn't want him to expect to like sit up there the whole time or something and then be like disappointed that it wasn't.
We will have our intense security escort his ass out of the building.
He's just gonna yell at us the whole time.
Leandro says, Nick said I'm working with y'all. Peace. Deuces. Oh.
He's so cute.
Nate says Nick is plugging himself. Yeah. So great. Abraham says, why am I just learning about this channel? I don't know, man. Where you been? I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Shout out to Scott who donated $10 saying, we've all put in a lot as fans, but you two are stars above us. Stop it. That's not true.
No.
You have invested so much time and energy covering this team, entertaining fans. Super happy for you guys. Thank you, Light the Beam. No, we're in this together.
Thank you. Literally, I don't care what you say. Couldn't do it without you, your support, you being here.
Yeah. So appreciate the love. And we do appreciate you guys supporting us after games and stuff. A couple of things we should note on the way out, Morgan. Reagan.
What you got?
Saturday, the Kings play the Wizards.
Yeah, what's the note? Oh.
So the Kings play the Wizards at 5. We are in Stockton for a G League game that starts at 5. So Saturday night chat will be late.
It will be, so we'll watch the Kings game as soon as we get back around probably like
8.
Yeah, probably like 8. So it'll probably be closer to like 9.
Yeah.
Because we get to fast forward through all free throws, all timeouts and everything. So
9.
Yeah.
We're looking at late 9 o'clock night
Saturday
chat
night.
on
Grab
Saturday
your
night.
beer.
Yeah.
Let's effing go.
Any other final thoughts, Morgan, about this?
No, just
in this moment?
I would say for the game, again, went in with a low expectations, like, hey, if they lose this one second night back to back, it's against the Nets. I get it. Why don't doubt this team. Do not doubt this team anymore. And you're seeing what they're doing with 42 wins on the season now. The real deal. And let's just enjoy every single moment.
Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Win the last 2 on this road trip.
Why not? Truly, why not?
I mean, it's just long. It's a road trip. You got the Wizards. You got the Jazz. But
why?
Then you come home for the Celtics. Let's keep this going.
Let's go.
I love it. We love you guys so much. 42 wins. Oh, hit the thumbs up on the way out. Spread the word. We love you, but we got to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much for being here. Sleeping.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.